Malala Yousafzai, We Are Displaced. In We Are Displaced, Malala Yousafzai shares heartfelt stories of women and girls who have faced various challenges ranging from natural disasters and terrorism to discrimination and displacement. Delving into her childhood, Malala recounts how the world she knew was disrupted by religious extremism and political violence. As we journey through the pages, we are introduced to resilient individuals such as Zainab and Muzoon, who, despite unimaginable odds, continue to strive for education and a better future. These stories teach us the power of hope and determination in overcoming the toughest obstacles life can throw at us.
Malala's childhood in Pakistan's Swat Valley. Malala Yousafzai had a happy childhood in Pakistan's Swat Valley, a place many referred to as the Switzerland of the East. However, after a devastating earthquake in 2005, male religious extremists became more influential and eventually joined with the Taliban, who had not been a threat in Pakistan before. Malala encountered the Taliban for the first time on a road trip to her family's mountain village, where she was told to cover her face at gunpoint. Over time, the situation in Swat worsened as extremism was enforced, especially against girls' education. Malala's father was an activist for girls' education and the environment, and his influence on her would eventually lead her to become an advocate for girls' education herself. Malala's journey. Malala's journey is a story of resilience, courage, and perseverance. At the age of 11, she witnessed the Taliban's reign of terror in the Swat Valley, where girls' education was prohibited. She spoke out against their actions, putting her life in danger, but continued her work even after being shot in the head by a member of the Taliban. With the support of people around the world, Malala continued her advocacy for girls' education and inspired many women and girls along the way. This is the story of her journey, the challenges she faced, and the impact she made. The story of two sisters escaping Yemen. The summary narrates the story of Zainab and Sabrine, two sisters born in Yemen. After their grandmother's death, they were compelled to leave the country and apply for a U.S. visa. Zainab was approved, while Sabrine's application was denied, forcing her to embark on an illegal journey to Europe. Despite facing numerous challenges, both sisters managed to reunite with their mother but had vastly different experiences settling down in a new country. While Zainab found her way with the help of fellow Muslim students in her new school, Sabrine remains in Belgium, struggling with an uncertain future due to the lack of immigration papers. Muzoon, a beacon of hope. Muzoon, a Syrian refugee in the Zaatari camp, became an advocate for girls' education after fleeing war-torn Syria. Muzoon's determination and resilience inspired young girls, and she helped them gain access to education, providing a spark of hope in a dire situation. Muzoon's inspiring story is a testament to the notion that being a refugee does not equate to being powerless. When Muzoon fled to the Zaatari refugee camp with her family, education was her primary concern. She soon found solace in the fact that there was a school at the camp where she could continue her studies and create a sense of normalcy amid the uncertain conditions. However, she discovered that many girls in the camp did not share her enthusiasm for education since their parents prioritized early marriage as a means to secure their future. Rather than accepting this cultural norm, Muzoon decided to take matters into her own hands and began advocating for formal education for girls. Through her persuasive and empathetic rhetoric, Muzoon was able to convince families to change their minds and send their daughters to school. One girl, who was being forced into an arranged marriage, found the courage to speak out after Muzoon offered her support and help. Muzoon's unwavering resilience and determination earned her a reputation as the Malala of Syria. Her advocacy helped many girls gain access to education, providing them with opportunities that would not have been possible otherwise. She demonstrated that change is possible even in the most dire of situations, and her story serves as a beacon of hope for those facing adversity. Fighting for education. Najla, a Yazidi girl from Sinjar, Iraq, fought tirelessly for her education despite her father's resistance and societal obstacles. She even ran away to the mountains to pursue her dream of learning. Although setbacks such as her sister's husband's murder and a friend's self-immolation caused her to pause her schooling, Najla persisted and resumed her education. However, in 2014, ISIS targeted the Yazidi people for genocide, causing her family to flee and leaving her dreams of education uncertain. As a refugee, Najla continued to teach other children to read and kept the hope of education alive. Malala met Najla during her Girl Power trip in 2017 and was impressed by her resilience, inviting her to the United Nations General Assembly. Maria's journey of displacement. Maria, a victim of civil conflict in Colombia, narrates her journey of displacement from her rural farm to a makeshift camp in Cali and ultimately finding a semblance of normal life through creative expression and community support. Maria is a victim of the civil conflict in Colombia that has left 7.2 million people displaced. While she was growing up in a rural farm in Colombia, her mother left for Cali with her and her siblings, leaving behind her father who had been killed the day before in the conflict. The family had to live in a makeshift camp in Cali along with other displaced people where crime, poverty, and gunshots were rampant. Additionally, they had to bear the brunt of racism due to their dark skin and rural accents. Maria's mother started washing clothes for money, which helped the family to buy food and gradually find a semblance of normal life in the camp. Eventually, a community organization helped Maria's mother move the family to a house, which although was in poor condition, served as an improvement. Maria's mother enrolled her and her siblings in a theater program that produced a play based on the children's stories of displacement, called Nobody Can Take Away What We Carry Inside. Maria has moved many times since living in that house, but creative expression has been her constant companion. At 16, she made a documentary about her experience of displacement. Although she has found a place she can call home only in her memories, Maria's journey teaches us about the resilience of the human spirit and the power of community support in overcoming adversity. One refugee's triumph. Marie Claire's story is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. A long journey through hardship and loss as an undocumented refugee in Zambia led her to the United States. After surviving a brutal attack that resulted in her mother's death and father's injury, Marie Claire had to drop out of school to care for her father. She returned to school with a determination to fulfill her mother's dream of seeing her graduate. Despite facing obstacles, including being admitted into a high school at 19, she persevered and became the first in her family to graduate. Her story is a reminder that no matter the circumstances, with a focus on determination and hard work, we can achieve our dreams. Love beyond borders. The Rohingya, a minority Muslim group in predominantly Buddhist Myanmar, have faced persecution for decades, with over 900,000 living in Bangladesh refugee camps today. French humanitarian activist Jérôme Jarre and his Love Army raised funds through social media, which enabled the Rohingya to build shelters, wells, and find work inside these camps. The Love Army also hired Ajita and her husband to build stoves and work in a cleaning team. Their story highlights the emotional toll of leaving behind everything familiar for the safety of a refugee camp. These are stories of loss and the struggle to reconcile with a new life.
In conclusion, We Are Displaced is a powerful account of the struggles faced by women and girls from different parts of the world who have been forcibly displaced from their homes. Malala Yousafzai's personal experiences and the stories of those she meets shine a light on the unrelenting courage and determination to create a better future for themselves and their communities. Despite the pains, devastation, and loss they have experienced, these individuals demonstrate that hope, resilience, and the pursuit of education can truly triumph over adversity. Understanding the significance and relevance of their stories is a crucial step in realizing the importance of empathy and unity in our own lives, and ultimately, shaping a more compassionate and supportive global society.